Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update, Thursday, May 21. The Queen Elizabeth Hospital assures the safety of patients and Barbadians remains its top priority. And Chief Executive Officer Juliet Bynor-Sutherland told a news briefing this evening that the island's main hospital has made a significant investment to ensure it can deliver the best patient care in the face of COVID-19.
We spent about $5.9 million in equipment, that is ventilators and other equipment, and $3 million in wages and other supplies including PPE. Just give you an idea of the scale of the response financially.
Today's briefing came at the height of calls from a group of surgeons that the hospital must significantly improve to keep the facility COVID-free and be ready to provide the best level of care for patients with the virus. Bynor-Sutherland assured that the hospital has a comprehensive plan in place that is upgraded as necessary. She announced that the QEH will be boosting its capacity to test for the viral illness.
Sometimes we have patients in the accident and emergency room waiting for sometimes between 4 to 6, even up to 20 hours if that patient comes in late in the evening and the testing facility is not open 24 hours. For a hospital, that has been a bit of a challenge. We want to be more nimbly able to get tests done, to be able to make clinical interventions. And so I'm pleased to say when I'm reporting to Shani and them that what Mr. Harris would have done also at the ministry is to get a rapid testing kit. I can't remember, a type of facility that allows us at the hospital to get rapid tests done more quickly. And it's going to come with about 600 reagent kits, which is more than adequate for our needs as a hospital.
In other news, police are investigating the discovery of a body at Strathclyde St. Michael around 5 p.m. Acting Police Public Relations Officer Sergeant Michael Blackman told Barbados Today personnel from the Barbados Fire Service were conducting business in the community when they found the body of an adult male on an open lot. Blackman said no foul play was suspected at this time. Earlier today, police also reported that the body of a man was pulled from the waters at Long Beach Bay near Sam Lars Castle, St. Philip. The search is on for missing teenager Joshua Dexter Nurse, who lives at number 6 Buttles Tenantry, St. George. Joshua, a Guyanese national and fifth form student of the St. George Secondary School, was last seen by his mother Karima Nurse on Tuesday around 7 o'clock in the morning when she was leaving home to go to work. She noted that Joshua was outside the house with a bag on his back and school books in his hands. When she returned home later that day, Joshua was not at home and she asked other family members, neighbors and friends but was unable to locate him. He was last seen wearing a long blue sweater, red short pants and grey boots. Joshua is 5 feet 6 inches tall and has a dark complexion. He has brown full eyes and black hair. Anyone with information about Joshua's whereabouts should contact the police. Vice President of the Democratic Labour Party, Simon Allen, has been given back. 20 families in Eastbourne St. Philip received 2 weeks' worth of groceries from Allen, who says he is pleased to reach out to vulnerable households. Allen praised the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, but he's anxious for Barbadians to get back to work and for economic activity to pick up.
The most concern that a lot of Barbadians have now is getting back to work and making an income. And that is very important. It is okay for us to be at home and doing social distancing and keeping ourselves safe, but we do know the reality is that we have to get back out in our communities and we have to get back out to work so that we can support ourselves. I mean, right now when we consider those persons who are in the hotel sector who would have been laid off, we got thousands of Bajans who would have been working in hotels who don't have a source of income. What about those persons who would work the beaches, work the streets, selling vegetables and fruit, as well as handicraft and so on. So we have to find a way, find a balance where we can get people back out into our communities, back out to jobs and working, and also to stimulate Barbadians to spend money. And I do believe that our private sector, if they are able to offer a number of benefits and sales, it would really stimulate people getting back out to actually buy things.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now. In Trinidad and Tobago, entertainer Sterling Howell and 5 other Trinidadians are stranded on the Caribbean Princess just off the coast of Barbados, and they're pleading with the Keith Rowley administration to allow them to return home. We get the details in this report from TV6 News.
Mr. Howell tells us, quote, "Today marks 72 days since we've left Fort Lauderdale. We dropped off staff at Santo Domingo, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, and Trinidad was supposed to be the last stop before heading to Mexico." End quote. Mr. Howell says they were told they'd be in Trinidad on May 12th, then May 18th, and now after 3 emails from the cruise liner, it seems their hopes, his of returning to his fiancée and drummer Rondell Edwards to be reunited with his young son, are all in vain. Mr. Howell says, quote, "I can't understand it. We are a few hours away. It's just 6 of us. We're being brought back for free. Why are we being denied access to come home? Why is the government denying us but allowing others in?" End quote. As he tried to rationalize, he told us it seems TNT is the only Caribbean country denying their citizens entry. He continued, quote, "We dropped off about 200 staff members in St. Lucia, and we're not hearing anything from their government that anybody tested positive. No one is calling them a liability, as I hear our officials are doing." End quote. The musician says the 6 are all isolated in individual rooms and are tested by onboard medical staff every day. He says, quote, "They take a data log. It's entered on the system every day. The government can see for themselves. If the virus was here, we would have been infected already." End quote. He tells us it has been mentally frustrating, noting since the pandemic, there have been 5 suicides by cruise staffers in the fraternity, the most recent 2 days ago. He says, quote, "The company said they emailed the minister 3 times and were told 3 times the borders are closed and entry is denied for nationals and non-nationals. That's a lie. What makes those who were allowed to enter different from us?"
On the international scene, the United States has secured almost a third of the first doses of an experimental COVID-19 vaccine. More in this report from Reuters Television.
1 billion doses of a possible COVID-19 vaccine to be available this year and next. That's AstraZeneca's plan if tests are successful. The pharmaceutical company on Thursday added that it should shortly get results of an early-stage clinical trial. The British drug maker has already signed the first agreements to supply at least 400 million doses of the vaccine, which it's developing with Oxford University. It's said that if results from the early-stage tests are positive, they will lead to late-stage trials in several countries. Only a handful of vaccines in development have advanced to human trials. That stage is seen as an indicator of safety and efficacy. But it's the point when many new drugs fail. Governments, drug makers and researchers around the world are working on around 100 programs, though experts warn it could take 12 to 18 months to develop a vaccine. AstraZeneca also said it had received more than $1 billion from the US Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority towards the potential treatment. Other drug makers, including Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson and Sanofi, are also in various stages of vaccine development. AstraZeneca said it was engaging with international bodies over the fair allocation and distribution of any new product around the world.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.